Huh?
The camera's now live. So the camera's live.
I'm gonna stop messing with it now.
Welcome, soccer fans, to Lawson Field.
Time to take a chance to fly, feeling like I'm 10 feet high. Nightmares call, you can't deny. Better find a place to hide. Here to tell you what I know. No one wants to be alone. Like a virus in your soul. Don't give up and take time to take a chance to fly. Feeling like I'm 10 feet high. Nightmares call, you can't deny. Better find a place to hide. Time to take a chance to fly, feeling like I'm 10 feet high. Nightmares call, you can't deny. Better find a place to hide. to take a chance to fly, feeling like I'm 10 feet high. Nightmares call, you can't deny. Better find a place to hide. To hide. To hide.
Eugene Negora. A midfielder, number 30, Diogo Oliveira. In the defense, number 88, Michael Brew. A midfielder, number 16, Piero Salazar. And in the defense, number 13, Logan Sawyer. FC Birmingham is coached by Coach Gabriel Gregal, and Potros' head coach is Ignacio Nessis. Today's middle officials, Mr. Sloan Miller, AR1, Will Davis, AR2, Doug Archer, and the fourth official, Mr. Carlos Real. If everybody would please rise for the playing of the national anthem.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to beautiful Lawson Field in Irondale, Alabama. We're about to watch the kick of your FC Birmingham Falcons against Potros FC from Marietta, Georgia. I'm joined today, finally, with a special guest, Kaylor Hodges. You may know him from Hammering Down podcast as well as the USL show. Kaylor, thank you for joining us in the booth today.
Hey, it is a great time to be out here in Irondale. It's a beautiful, hot day here in the Magic City, but absolute blast to check out the local club. Be up here in the booth.
It is hot. So if you're listening to this cast and you're thinking about coming down to the game, please hurry. There's a little bit of shade on the far side of the field. We've got food truck today, tacos and hot dogs, Chihuahua, serving up some really amazing food. I had it after the last home game with Kalanji, and we'll have it again at the end of the 90 today.
I mean, I'm already getting hungry, so I might sneak down if you want to run this by yourself.
I have had that duty for quite some time, so I'm happy to share the stage a little bit today. Pretty much got the a standard starting lineup for FCB today. Across the back, we're going Bailey Harris at right back, Michael Brew center back. Alan Garcia over at left back, Logan Sawyer center back. Yoel is playing the 6. Looks like Piero is going to be playing the 8. Diago the 10. Manny the left wing. A newcomer today, Eugene at right wing, and then of course the Premier League's leading scorer, Giancarlo Bustamante, fresh coming off of a hat trick in last week's matchup.
And as for Los Potros coming out of Marietta, we have Cameron Verona in goal. We have Manuel Montague. We have Bron Hernandez, Alan Hernandez, Dylan Sendenu, Dylan Makune. And we have Jarvis Matisse, Jair Figueroa, Augusto Del Rio, Alan Wegbo, and Mark Beno.
Yeah, Potros has really started off the season strong. They've come out of the gates. They're right now actually tied on points with 13 for top of the table, only in second place by goal differential to Dalton United, but ahead of UMA FC, who we played here, and had a last-second defeat, a 2-1 defeat against UMA earlier in the season.
Yeah, early growing pains, but this is one of the things that you have to do, that if you, throughout the season, especially in a highly competitive Georgia Premier League division, you have to take your lumps a little bit. And especially for a lot of these guys, they're still super young players. You have to learn that, just because the time says 89th minute doesn't mean that the game is over. You have to make it all the way to the final whistle, as there's a really good chance in the box that Nuegbo just cannot get on the end of for Portros, but FC Birmingham just about deal as another cross comes in. Overhead kick underway, but could not quite get there.
Yeah, right now they're just a little bit quicker to every ball. Just starting off the game a little bit sluggish. And
as Nuegbo puts one into the back of the net. Just going over from that left-hand side, Dylan Cedeno, he has just been tearing up this right side defense for FC Birmingham. And Ollie Nuegbo gets his goal, his 5th of the season.
Yeah, 2 minutes in, this is definitely not the start that FC Birmingham wanted. Looked like Potros overloaded down this left-hand side, did a nice exterior run, overlapping run, and then just a very simple finish at the end for the Potros leading scorer.
So whenever you're kind of seeing what's happening here, their number one, Dylan Cedeno, he is really taking it to the number 17, Bailey Harris, right now. But it's really those crosses to the box. It's just everything's going to the back post. So if you are Logan Sawyer, the 13, or if you're Michael Brew, the 88, you have to really stick with your man and guard at that back post, because right now that's where all of those crosses are going to. Nothing is going to the top of the box early on.
Yeah.
Opener scored by number 63 for Potros, Donald and Gego. New score, Potros 1, FC Birmingham nothing.
Yeah, unfortunately, this home field has not been kind to us so far this season. All the points for FC Birmingham have come on the road. We have yet to get a tie or a win on the home confines of Lawson Field.
It's one of those things that you really do have to just defend your own turf, and there is something to being road warriors, but the whole thing is draw away, win at home. But if you're drawing away and losing at home, that doesn't get you into the playoffs.
No, it doesn't. And, what we knew is that this team is very solid defensively. We knew that they had been struggling somewhat on the offensive end, so an early goal for Potros has got to be exactly what the doctor ordered for them.
Well, when I talked to Potros head coach earlier today, I asked him, I was like, what is the secret to your defending? Because you're just not letting in any goals. And he was very frank with me. He said there is no secret. The secret is hard work. You don't let off any ball. You don't let them have any chance. There is no switching off. And early on, you can see that as they are communicating like crazy. They are not letting a single ball go through without communicating to each other. And you can see that hard work really paying off early.
Yeah, nice turnover there for FCB to capitalize on. It's going to result in a free kick. About 25, 30 yards out. FCB, at least over the last couple of games, has been very dangerous on set pieces. Giancarlo Bustamante seems to be finding a way to get on the end of a lot of crosses with his head.
Yeah, Bustamante has really made himself one of the premier names in the UPSL right now. But I'm interested to see, who Diogo Oliveira is going for on this, because do you want to just put this right into the mixer? Do you want to play this up top? As this one is crossed in, header not one, but there's a scramble in the box. penalty shout for FCB. Nothing given, but a goal kick awarded to Potros. That was a heck of a chance there for FC Birmingham.
Yeah, that would have been a nice one to put in the back of the net early and get this thing squared away. Unfortunately, ball goes a little bit wide. It looks like there's a little bit of contact from behind, but definitely not enough for a referee to blow a whistle for a foul in the box.
Right now, we're seeing out of Cameron Verona, a lot of the ideas for this team has been 1-2 and go. We haven't seen a whole lot of good chances as this number 10 is out and there's a one-on-one and he slots it away. Mark Bonneau does a really good job to get it past the goalkeeper in a one-on-one situation. If you're Junior Nunez, you feel a little hard done by because where is the defense gone? But just a line splitting pass from what I was just talking about. 1-2 pass, go over the top. And it is now 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0 early. Feels like a repeat of last week's game. Last week we were down at Georgia Athletic. It seemed like within minutes, 2-0, and had to claw our way back for a 3-3 tie. But not really sure what happened there. Just looked like a pretty easy, high-bouncing ball that the offensive player just wanted more than the two defenders did, and that resulted in really an easy breakaway goal.
Whenever I asked the coach, I asked him, I said, maybe the goals haven't been coming early on. I asked for Potros. I said, what are you guys working on to try and fix that? How are you going to be able to feed Nwegbo and Bonneau? And he said, I feel like things are going fine. He said the goals haven't come, but I like our process. Our process is solid. Our systems are good.
Yeah.
And we're seeing it early on.
Yeah, I don't think he can have any complaints with the way this game has started. For his team who's given up 5 goals all year, I think he likes his chances at this point.
Now, we are already seeing a bit early that the ref is going to let a good bit go. I haven't seen any fouls quite yet that have been uncalled, but it's obvious that we're going to see some more physical play. I'm going to be very intrigued if this young squad of FC Birmingham can deal with it. As there's a nice little backheel pass as a cross is going in, dealt with very well by FC Birmingham, but that is out for a corner.
Yeah, it looked like maybe both of the two runners that were in the middle were a little bit offside. Looked like they were a little bit ahead of the play, but no flag as the ball goes ricocheting off of a FCB defender. Going to result in a corner kick for Potros. Really, right now, FCB's got to gain some composure and get the ball out of their end.
As an outswinger goes, but it is handled well. But a shot from the outside the box never really troubles Junior Nunez as it hits the upright and goes well out of play. One thing I'm going to be very interested in is how is FC Birmingham going to regain the middle of the pitch? Because right now we're looking at Joel Mendez, and he hasn't been truly involved with the play. You can tell that he's wanting to quarterback the team a little bit and dictate some play in the middle, but everything's just trying to go out the wings. But if you are down 2-0 early, you got to create something through the middle of the field.
Yeah, I completely agree, Kaylor. I think, and if they don't call through the back on those plays from Bustamante, we're going to have a lot of trouble. A lot of our game is to play post to Giancarlo, and if the defender is going to be allowed to lean on him like that, that's not going to be very, very good for us.
This is one of those moments, especially we talk about this team being pretty young. If you are a young player, you do have to recognize that you have to be a little bit tougher, a little bit stronger. I wouldn't say play dirty by any stretch, but you absolutely have to be up to the task. And that's what you're seeing here out of Potros, I believe, is they're willing to be physical. They're willing to use their physical assets. While their soccer is very smart, as that's a brilliant ball dealt with very well out of FC Birmingham.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just a brilliant ball, but they're letting their physicals really dictate the play and letting the mentals transcend everything else. I think if you're FC Birmingham, you can tell the mentals are there, but you got to dig into that physical side.
Yeah, that was it was odd to see. We had more players than they did in the middle, yet they had more players get to the ball than we did. So, yeah, right now, I think it's, sometimes it's all about digging down deep and who wants the ball more. And right now it looks like they want the ball more.
One thing that I have been very impressed with on the Potros side is they are putting pressure on everybody. And this is not the kind of press that you can truly sustain, especially in this kind of heat, especially on the first real hot day of the season. But you can tell that the FC Birmingham's just not comfortable with the amount of pressure that's being put on, as pressure wins it there for FC Birmingham, as they are on a breakaway and a ball goes out wide but out of play just a little too far.
Yeah, it was the right idea. Diago was making that run. He wanted it at his feet. Eugene played it out in front, and so a little bit of miscommunication there that led to that breakdown. But hey, at least we took a turnover, we pushed forward, and I'd rather play on this half of the field.
The one thing that we are absolutely seeing, like I was mentioning, was that pressure. But we're seeing Potros, they want to work from behind. They want, not from behind, but from the back. They want to build it up and let their players just do the work that they want to. They're very comfortable with their goalkeeper having the ball. They're very comfortable with their center backs having the ball. And we're not seeing a whole lot of pressure right now at FC Birmingham. And if I was Birmingham, you're down 2-0. You got to go for this ball. You have to create a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. That has been a challenge for us in the last couple of weeks, is getting any sustained pressure up the field until the second half. It feels like in the second half we have played an entirely different game than we've been playing in the first halves of games.
We are seeing this connecting play from their number 51, Dylan Cedeno, and their number 49, Augusto Del Rio. They have been doing a great job at connecting the play so far in this game. They have really been able to dictate the pace of play and get the ball where they want to, when they want to.
Nice interception there on the back line. But we immediately turned the ball right back over. We're 13 minutes in, and for those of you who are just tuning in, 2 early goals by Potros have the bad guys up 2-0.
Early on, though, we have seen FC Birmingham do a pretty good job of exploiting the wings on their own right. The issue whenever you try to kind of play counterattacking football and you try to exploit the wings is that you can't really truly sustain that pressure, as they have the ball and there's a cross in but headed away, recollected to the top of the box. But it's really hard to sustain that pressure, and you're kind of seeing it now as Potros has the ball and they are about to start a counterattack of their own.
Yeah, it's obvious that Potros values the ball more than anything right now. They had an opportunity to break there, looked up, looked like it was about even numbers, and number 10 recycled. Mark Bonneau, one of the goal scorers, recycled the ball backwards. But a sloppy turnover there, uncharacteristic of the play we've seen so far.
I've been noticing a good bit of slipping on the ball today, so I'm wondering if the turf is just a little bit drier than they could expect, as there's a pretty hard back pass back over to Junior Nunez. Nunez does a very good job to not let that one end up in the back of the net, but some unwanted pressure if you're the goalkeeper there.
Yeah, probably a little bit more fire than Junior was expecting on that back pass. He did what he could. He toe poked it outside, and then Logan banged it off the Potros attacker.
early on, I know it's still early, and the one thing you have to remind yourself, these goals happen early. Within the first 10 minutes, you're down 2-0, but you also have 80 minutes to get 2 goals back yourself. There's no need to truly push as much as maybe I was saying earlier. But if you're Coach Gabriel, are you trying to change up the system early, or are you wanting to just kind of stick with what works? Because other than just some mental lapses, you don't know if it's working or not.
Yeah, I would assume, just knowing Gabriel, that he's going to stay the course at this point in time. Right now, everything, the touches are just a little sloppy. The passes are just a little too short.
Now, that was another play that I am very curious to see if the ref continues to let go all game long. Because later on this game, if a little tug from the back is called a foul after it gets let go early, I think there's going to be some frustrated players and some frustrated coaches as well, because that's the kind of foul that if it's called later, maybe 75th minute, might be a yellow card just because of the time of the game, and I think there's going to be some real frustration.
I agree. Not really sure what the call was there.
Looks like they
Maybe
may have just called a
offsides?
foul. I didn't see a flag up. I think it might have been a little tug on the back of the jersey trying to get to. I mean, maybe the scoreline's not what you want if you're an FC Birmingham fan, but what a beautiful day it is here.
It is, and it's a decent crowd out here supporting our home team. This is a 3-week homestand. So 2 weeks for the men today, and then again this exact same time, exact same place next weekend. We're catching FC Atlanta. And then the following week, on Saturday night at 6 o'clock, our women's team is going to be playing their first home game of the season against the FC Nashville Wolves. So really nice. We've been on the road quite a bit this year. So nice to be able to stay at home and do some games. The men's team, that the opening weekend for the ladies will be off completely. So
one thing that I have been very much into, as I think a lot of people has been the growth of the women's game. And that's something that we have seen here at FC Birmingham from the years going through the different leagues and doing the different levels of things. It's been nice to see growth out of this team, and it's going to be really interesting to see how this team starts against the Wolves of Nashville. Yeah,
so the growth is really evident too. I was looking at a map of the WPSL teams from 23 last summer to 24 this summer, and the league itself had 119 teams last summer in 23. This year, just 1 year later, is grown to 170 teams in the league. So, almost 60 new, 50-something new squads joining into the WPSL. So it really is mirroring what you're seeing all around you in the high schools and in the club level. Is just a really renewed interest in the women's game.
One thing, if you are a fan of FCB, one of the cool things is that we do get one of, assuming I have everything straight in my head, we do have one of the premier away games, which is still Chattanooga. And if you have not been out there to see, the Chatahooligans and stuff like that, they are some of the best fans around, and especially the way that they support their women's club. And it's really nice to see, our ladies get an opportunity to go into an environment that is not just full, but at points it's hostile. And that is something that you do have to learn if you're going to be a collegiate player or eventually a professional yourself.
Yeah, in fact, last year the ladies, that was their second game of the season, I believe, and they were playing with the men's pro team playing a game directly after. So full packed stadium, very hostile.
As we've seen in this game that's in front of us now, as ref calls a foul and it's now FC Birmingham ball, Birmingham has slowly gotten into this match. They have gotten their footing. There was a couple of passes that 3 minutes into the game splits the defense and we're getting scored on. Now we're kind of there. It's obviously 2 goals too late at this point, but you know, obviously, if you're Coach Gabriel, if you're FC Birmingham faithful, you're very excited that this did not get way out of hand early.
Yeah, I think that the first step is just to get your composure, get your footing under you, and now what we need to do is see a little bit of control of the ball and a little bit of possession with some purpose.
What I'm very interested in right now is the way that their center backs play of Potros. Potros, their center backs are very wide. If you are watching this match, you may think that their center backs are wing backs. They are full backs. They are very comfortable with letting their center backs do midfield duties, and it creates opportunities like we're seeing out of this one as they are getting a counterattack, go over to the right-hand side, fakes a cross, shot or to the top of the box, shot comes in, goes out for a goal kick. But that's the kind of stuff that you can see when you have center backs that you trust like that. You can just get the ball just a little bit farther and catch the other team out just a little bit more.
Yeah, it's interesting. They definitely are running 2 traditional center backs when they don't have the ball, understanding that you have to put a body on Bustamante at midfield. In the way that FCB attacks. But you're right, the way they spread them out is really interesting. It's unlike anything we've seen this year. And then their wing backs just start pinching up the field nicely.
Yeah, whenever you're watching Alan Hernandez and Bron Hernandez, the 2 center backs, it is incredibly interesting to see how they're working together. One thing that I'm a bit surprised by with just how much they love the possession and how much they seem to trust their goalkeeper. I'm surprised he doesn't come up a little bit farther. As much as they want to control that possession, I'm a bit surprised he doesn't come up a bit. But also, when you trust your center backs that much, maybe you don't have to go all the way back.
Yeah, he hasn't been threatened, so whatever they're doing right now is working. But I agree, he doesn't seem to leave the goalie box area, which is a little unique. Most of the UPS goalies end up creeping up. For instance, right now, Junior Nunez is out near the 25-yard line.
As there is a good chance for FC Birmingham, I think we may have seen a bit of a better opportunity if he decided to fight through the foul just a little bit more. But it's the opportunities are coming now, and I think FC Birmingham is really starting to feel their way into this match and feel a lot more comfortable attacking now.
Yeah, we're pretty much halfway through the first half at the 23-minute mark. Potros 2, FC Birmingham 0. All the action, really, scoring action came within the first 5 minutes of the matchup. Since then, really neither team has had what I would call a legitimate shot on goal. Potros is starting to figure out, a very nice play by Junior Nunez. I feel like that was a bit lucky.
What we're seeing there right now is Beno, the number 10 for Portros. He's going out to this left mid, and he's really causing chaos. I know when we were kind of given the lineup sheet, it looked more like a 4-4-2. But right now, we're seeing it's more, to me, of kind of a 4-4-1-1. And Beno is just kind of allowed to float wherever he wants. But he definitely favors this left wing side. And they are really overloading that left wing side. As you see the number 49, Agosto Del Rio, and plus their left wing back, the number 51, Dylan Cedeno. Oh my gosh, Cedeno. I can do it. I can say it. They are really overloading that left-hand side, and it caused Birmingham troubles early, and it's still causing a bit of issues now.
Well, there's no doubt if you have more players moving than your opposition does, you tend to have a tactical advantage in those spaces. The hope, though, is that you can win that ball and then spread it back to the side where you do have the statistical advantage. But
there's speaking of Benyo, I mean, he gets a shot on, very well done there by Junior Nunez. Stays up until the last possible minute. The moment they sees Benyo has to get a shot off, he goes down knowing that he can't really loft the ball above him. Very good chance. Right now, this defensive line is not really holding together. We have seen the number 88, Michael Brew. He's sitting a little bit deeper than maybe Logan Sawyer is wanting him to. But that line, they need to be looking down each other because one of them at each time is holding somebody on.
Yeah, and I think the thing I'm noticing a lot, and this seems to be unfortunately a tendency that's forming, is that we're just not getting pressure in the middle of the field on these passers, and so they have all the time in the world to pick out and make a nice pass. And here we go again with number 49 with all the space. So and then he puts a nice, beautifully weighted pass down the sideline. So
handled there well by Alan Garcia. But, I mean, the number 49, Augusto Del Rio, I mean, he has been quarterbacking that side. He may just be a deeper lying player, but you can tell that they really rely on him to set the tempo. Speaking of Del Rio, he is going to be the one standing over this ball. An out swinger. First one didn't really trouble the FCB too much, as this one goes to the back post, but goes out for a throw in. Couldn't quite control that one.
Yeah, it looks like there's a couple of guys for Potros warming up periodically so far. I don't know if the heat's affecting them early or if this was by design, but it's pretty early in the matchup, especially with a 2-goal lead, to be looking at warming up subs.
I mean, this is the first real heat match of the year. It's been hot
nice
before.
Nice run here. Can we get a pass across? Oh, Diago goes for a shot on goal. Nice save by the Potros keeper.
Yeah, Cameron Verona, he has really impressed me. I went down and watched him in warm-ups, and his control that he has over his body is very impressive, especially at this level. You see a lot of guys who, lack of better words, kind of topple over. He's maybe a little top-heavy. The legs just aren't quite on him, but he can really control his body. You can see it there. Bit of a kick save, and that's what keeps the danger from happening. I'm not sure if it was a cross or if it was a shot, but it was handled well.
Oh, that's off of them, I think. Another corner kick. So we'll do it again from the opposite side. Yeah, I can't remember. I wish I could. This goalie has an interesting nickname. He's very tough to score on, and I believe he's won goalkeeper of the week several times already in this short season in the UPSL Georgia division. So, yeah, we knew coming into this that it's going to take nice shots to get past this guy, as he's only given up 5 goals so far in the season.
You can really tell, though, that FC Birmingham are well drilled on these corners. And granted, it helps a lot when you have Giancarlo Bustamante on the other end of them. But these corners are really causing havoc for Potros. But they are able to deal with it now. And now Beno has a good opportunity as the number 54 lines up a shot. But Junior Nunez handles it well. Just a little save down to his left.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a slow break there. Allowed the FCB to kind of recover. We had everybody pulled up for that corner. I was a little bit nervous as it looked like Bailey Harris was isolated on Beno. But everything just slowed down. Bailey was able to kind of get in front and slow him down a little bit. And then, the 40-yard shot, 30-yard shot, it's going to be challenging for anybody to beat, a quality keeper at the UPSL level. It can happen. Doesn't happen a lot.
It's one thing that you've seen the growth as soccer in the U.S. really grows. the semi-professional level, the unofficial fourth tier of America, a couple of years ago, shots like that easily go in. And now you're seeing there's just quality everywhere. As soccer gets just more popular here, the soccer just gets better. And it's very impressive to see the level of goalkeeping rise the way that it has.
Yeah, another turnover on the defensive end. Luckily, doesn't turn into anything, but ball's just got to get out of the defense quicker. But Potros, to your point earlier, Potros so far has not relinquished that hard pressure that they were putting early.
A lot of that comes down to they allow their wing backs to get forward, and while it does allow counterattacking opportunities like this one, it does allow them to press, and that's why it's gotten them those early goals. Obviously, there's risk-reward. It allows kind of counterattacking opportunities like that one, but when you let your wing backs go forward like that, you can just be nonstop, and your players don't get tired the way that other teams would with that kind of pressure.
Referee blocking a ball there. Unintentional, but just backed into the oncoming Yoel run.
Yeah, it's the first time we've really seen Yoel, the number 3, get involved in the play. You can tell that he really wants to quarterback this team a little bit. Just a ton of space, but FC Birmingham really set on attacking these wings and going after those soft spots, those wing backs leaving their position. But there's just a lot of space for FC Birmingham to exploit in the center of the park if they can find it.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how that was a ball off of us. I guess it must have clipped off of one of our wingers, but thought for sure that was going to be a FCB throw-in deep in the Potros territory. But it's the space. All this space here, Kaylor, it's just too much. We have the same number of players on the field as they do, and yet they are constantly working in vast areas of space.
Well, if you watch the film on Potros, the one thing that you really saw them early is they want to exploit these long diagonal balls that really switch the play. And you can tell that FC Birmingham, intelligently so, are thinking about those. They are leaving the space open on this near side to us because they are looking for that long diagonal ball, and that's working right into their favor because their number 51, Dylan Cedeno, he just has yards of space to work with, and that's really the trouble when you're playing a team that are very comfortable with their wing backs going forward, and they have the quality to do those long diagonal balls.
Yeah, ball's getting off of Potros' feet very quickly. Ball is not getting off the feet of FC Birmingham very quickly right now in the first half. It seems to be people wanting to try and beat people off the dribble. We just saw it with Bailey Harris down here on the bottom of the screen, and he got picked. It's one of those things where guys at this level are just too good to be trying to beat off the dribble. It's much easier to move the ball with the passing game.
If you didn't know, you would definitely think the number 51. As there's another one-on-one opportunity and a very good attempt at a kick save. As Junior is down in a little bit of pain, but I think he's just going to kind of rub some dirt on it and move on. Obviously, neither he nor Beno knew that was offside, but does a very good job to put him off the target there.
Yeah, the line, you had pointed out earlier, the line was not very good. The line's getting better, as evidenced by the fact that we're catching a couple people with the offsides trap. But a little close for comfort for my taste. When you're talking about making a young AR is what you're relying on to make that call.
As there's a nice flick on there by the number 7, Eugene. Help me out here. Joran. As there's a good ball through. Could not quite connect.
Yeah, Eugene put that a little bit behind the run of Manny Mendez. Looking at Eugene's last name, trying to figure it out myself. I'm going to have to ask him.
As there's a really good ball one there in the midfield. Nice turnaround. and just holding on to the ball as there's just more pressure coming. And you can tell that this Potros side is really trained on pressing the ball, as Beno is now just whoever has the ball. He's a bit on what I like to call golden retriever duty. It's see ball, get ball. And he does it there as Nwegbo gets the ball now, Beno. And as this ball goes out wide, anticipating the 54, Jair Figueroa, to try to get there, just not quite on the same page. But this press is just relentless, and it's really causing issues.
Yeah, the touch so far in the first half from Piero Salazar has been a little bit loose in the center of the park, and that with the pressure that they're putting is turning the ball back over. We've got to either get better touch or figure something out.
The one thing that is really causing FC Birmingham now the fits as they're getting these sustained pressure or these sustained opportunities. As we see Giancarlo pick the pocket but cannot quite react to it. I don't think he quite expected to be able to get there.
No, quick off his line though. I'll give that goalkeeper all the credit in the world. He was in a bad way because of his defender, and he got there very fast.
One thing that's really causing some issues for FCB now is when they're in the middle of the park, we're seeing these, whenever they have the ball, they're having two guys on the back. They have one guy in front. There's always three guys pressuring the ball in this middle third of the pitch. And that's a nightmare for anybody to deal with, especially, like you said, they aren't really going for these 1-2s. They're trying to beat everybody off the dribble. It's impossible to beat three guys like that.
Yeah, it got about 9 minutes before the half. Looked like that was an offsides run there. Quickly called by the AR. But about 9 minutes before halftime, really would like to see FCB sneak one back in the last couple of minutes.
Hot dog, taco chihuahua. We also have the FCD concession stand. Check that out. And have
One thing we've seen with this pressure, though, is not a whole lot of pressure coming the goalkeeper's way. They have been very, very set on. They are willing to pressure the center backs, but not as much as the goalkeeper. And I'm wondering if that's one of the triggers for them to find their shape and then pressure on the next ball. As FC Birmingham has a good counterattacking opportunity, taking advantage of that pressure. But the left wing back goes on a little run himself, plays through, but no, he has one-on-one. But
they brought it back.
The flag was up, but there's a yellow card being issued now to, I believe, number 88, Michael Brew.
Yeah, he came through the player on the pass, and when ref was trying to play an advantage on the run, but since they didn't get to it, he was pulling it back for this. It's pretty hard tackle. It's unfortunate though.
Yeah, I mean,
it started off a really nice passage of play for FCB where we were passing the ball nicely, and then again the touch just kind of failed us towards the end, and these guys are ready. One loose touch, and Potros is ready to jump on it.
As now the number 49, Augusto Del Rio, who has been their complete free kick taker, is now standing over this. And it appears that Junior Nunez is setting up for a possible shot here. I would be, judging by the way that Potros is setting up, it seems like that might be a real possibility. Only three guys in the box right now. Granted, one of them is the big guy, Ali Nwegbo. As this one is chipped in, dealt with really well by Junior Nunez, but the ball is still at the feet, collected by Nunez. But, I mean, whenever you trust your three guys to win the ball, and they did, you're also left in a position like this. When the counterattack happens, they're already there ready to deal with it.
Yeah, it's, again, one of those things that's just very puzzling. I mean, you had about six guys covering three guys back there, and the three guys were the only three on the ball.
One of the things that we have seen...
Nice play by Manny Mendez to win this down in that end. But, again, little short pass
Whenever you watch Agosto del Rio early on, especially with set pieces like that, I think the reason why I caught FCB out is because no one expected the chip over the wall. Everyone expects him to drive one and go to the back post somewhere. Everyone expects him to take a shot. But the lofted chip over, even for someone like me, I was caught out. And, I'm not playing.
Sure.
So that's one of those things that no one was really expecting that play to happen, which is probably why they got caught out just a little bit.
Going to take a quick minute just to thank a couple of our sponsors. Mendez Woodworks, Puma, Mi Pueblo Supermarkets, Polo Lucas, Champion Sports Medicine, La Calle Tacos and Snacks. We appreciate everything you do for our club and helping us keep the engine at FCB running. Thank you to all our sponsors this spring 2024 season.
Right now, we're seeing just a little bit more pressure, but the left back just kind of cheaply giving away possession. And this is admittedly the sign of a young team. They pick their head up and want to just immediately go for those line-splitting balls. And because, frankly, it's an easy choice. You see someone making the run, and you say, let's just go ahead and beat him, as opposed to the slow workup, slow passage of play. You call it a little bit of instant gratification, but also it's just an easy decision to make, but there it was very wasteful. Speaking of wasteful, FC Birmingham gets a nice pass through, and now they're working through the middle, tries to go out wide, foul given on the pass.
Yeah, free kick going to be about, about 15 yards in from the midfield stripe. Obviously going to be a lofted ball towards Bustamante, is my guess. Need to try and sneak one in. This is about the time last week we were down 2-0. We were able to sneak one in right before halftime, give us a lot of momentum coming out of the break. Oh, nice shot off the rebound, but easily corralled by the goalie.
Yeah, it's one of those that you kind of need to see the goalkeeper work. I know, obviously, you want to see a goal, as that's a bit of a howler there by the center back, but he's able to corral it and fix his mistake immediately. But it's one of the things of seeing the goalkeeper die for one, finally putting one on target. You're like, okay, I can do it. And it's just a little win that you get throughout the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a big fan of keep the pressure on, make the goalie work. You never know what's going to happen.
As Nwegbo starts to get that ball, but cannot quite corral it, but it goes out for a throw-in for Potros.
About a minute and a half before the end of the first half, barring some extra time. I can't imagine that there will be very much extra time.
As there's a really nice ball. Nwegbo trying to get there, won very, very well out there onto the left-hand side by Alan Garcia.
Yeah, again, too much on their feet. Got to get rid of this ball quicker. I mean, in that case, we just literally dribbled it straight to the out-of-bounds line.
About a minute away from seeing the added time. Because of 2 goals, probably just a minute or two added on. If you are FC Birmingham, if you're Coach Gabriel, you have to be pushing for a goal, because 2-1 at the break is so much different than 2-0.
Oh. Another ball falling right at the feet of Bonneau. He turns quickly. Thank goodness he fired the ball about 50 yards past the goal.
So we see Junior Nunez over the ball, telling his team to go ahead, go long. Not really going to do the short goal kick routine.
Haven't really seen the referee motion towards the fourth official. He's just going to keep it on his own, I think.
As ball won very well there by the number 11, Manny Mendez, but cannot quite corral it to fully start that counterattack. And the Wegbo absolutely fouled there. He may be a mountain of a man, but I don't think many people are staying upright after a foul like that. But it's really dangerous area if you're FC Birmingham. You know, coming from these wide areas is where Potros has really made their living today. And so you're really going to be, dotting the I's on this one. As this cross is put in, Wegbo can't win it. I don't think Beno thought that ball was going to fall to him, because if he did, he had about 3 yards on either side to deal with it as the halftime whistle blows.
Yeah, not the first half that we would have wanted as FC Birmingham fans, but at least gained a little bit of composure, played themselves back into the action of the game, and now Gabriel Gurwal will have to go in, coach his team up, and figure out how to change the momentum. So hopefully we'll see something in the second half that'll lead us to believe that we can close this gap quickly and make a game out of this.
If you're Coach Gabriel, what do you think your changes would be going out of halftime?
I'd never like to make those types of player assertions, but what I would say is that just find a way to get more possession in the midfield, find a way to get a little bit more control, high pressure. I think when we've seen FCB have successful spurts, it's because we put a little bit of pressure on their back line. When their back line has all day, when their midfield has all day, they're picking out these runners. And, Nwegbo is obviously a grown man. So, when he's making that run at you one-on-one, that is definitely not – you want the pass to not be good, right? You don't want a good pass and, him to be going. So that's probably what I would do. I think, small changes, but maybe get a couple fresh bodies in and, see if maybe that sparks something in the team. But we're going to take a quick break for halftime. We're going to go down and enjoy ourselves some tacos and hot dogs, Chihuahua, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes.
to hide. Here to tell you what I know. No one wants to be alone. Like a virus in your soul. Don't give up and take time to take a chance to fly. Feeling like I'm 10 feet high. Nightmares call, you can't deny. Better find a place to hide. Time to take a chance to fly. Feeling like I'm 10 feet high. Nightmares call, you can't deny. Better find a place to hide. Here to tell you what I know. No one wants to be alone. Like a virus in your soul. Don't give up and take time to take a chance to fly. Feeling like I'm 10 feet high. Nightmares call, you can't deny. Better find a place to hide. to hide. Here to tell you what I know. No one wants to be alone. Like a virus in your soul. Don't give up and take time to take a chance to fly. Feeling like I'm 10 feet high. Nightmares call, you can't deny. Better find a place to hide. Time to take a chance to fly. Feeling like I'm 10 feet high. Nightmares call, you can't deny. Better find a place to hide. to
And we're off in the second half. Looks like only sub for our FCB Falcons is Michael Brew, who picked up a yellow card in the first half, got subbed off for number 2, Cedric Durina. Cedric is a freshman, about to be a sophomore over at UAB here in town. Played his ball over at Homewood High School. Hopefully we can, as a team, show a little bit of fortitude and work our way back into this matchup.
Well, you know, it's apparently what he wants to do when he grows up is to be a pilot, and hopefully he can get this team off to a fast and flying start.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, Cedric's a good kid, super smart. It's really funny. For whatever reason, I thought he was like a scientist when I talked to him. So when I read that he was going to be a pilot, I thought that probably makes a lot of sense too. Got a great attention to detail, so he's definitely the kind of guy I would want flying my plane.
You know what they say about the 1 degree rule? If he can stay the course like that, then FC Birmingham is going to get back into this one real fast.
Absolutely.
Right now, though, we're seeing Potros. They are right back on the possession game, although not sending the wingbacks up at quite as high. It also looks like for the Potros, they have brought out the number 62, whom I don't know who that is.
Yeah, 62.
Manuel Montague. Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting, which is not a good skill to have.
So looks like Eugene, and I won't butcher his last name, Najoraj, picked up a little bit of a knock on that play as the foul was called. Potros really a little bit of a tactical foul, wanted to slow the play down as we had numbers going the other way. Ball knocked down by Giancarlo.
One thing that's been really working well that we didn't really talk about in the first half is those long balls to a flick on. Now, we kind of talked about how the long ball can be a bit of a cop-out tactically, but when they have gone to the...
very heavy tackle there for number 63. Very heavy tackle.
As Nwegbo is talking to the ref, but it looks like no card is going to be issued.
It's good to see Yoel get up.
But we have really seen these long balls into flick-ons work really well for FC Birmingham. If they want to continue going for that, I think it's going to work really well, and that can really work on these long free kicks as this one is put into the box. Not really well handled.
Ball bouncing around. Oh, unfortunate. Almost fell to an FCB attacker, but just fell a little bit shy of that. Eugene wanted to get on it. I think maybe him coming off of that knock, he just couldn't move quick enough to get onto the ball.
Obviously, defender right on there, but when you're talking about Giancarlo Bustamante, you do expect him just to kind of find the back of the net every time he touches it, but you are reminded he is still human at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
As the number 54, Jair Figueroa, has the ball, but has it dispossessed as a wayward pass. Birmingham working nicely through the middle of the pitch early on, something we didn't see a whole lot out of. I say that as the ball has been won away by Nwegbo, whom, again, the same pressure we talked about. There are just 3 players on the ball at all times for this Portros team.
Good step by Alan Garcia. Yeah, I would definitely say that I'm encouraged by the positive activity so far that we've seen in the very first 4 minutes of the second half. Haven't really been able to string something up dangerous other than that loose ball that was flopping around the box. But the more pressure that we can get, the better, I think, over the long term. Alan's decided, though, that he likes the stands over here, so he's played 3 straight balls out of bounds.
I mean, there's no one over there for Potros other than a little throw-in. As the long throw-in comes in, as Junior Nunez does a very good job to collect that, as that ball is cleared out for a unconventional goal kick, but a goal kick nonetheless. I was talking not too long ago to Charlotte Independence goalkeeper Austin Pack, and he said the one thing that he hates the most is a long throw specialist. He said it doesn't move like a goal kick. It doesn't move like a corner. It doesn't move like anything you see. It's flat. It's a hard throw, and you don't know how to set up your defenders. And that's a real weapon that both these teams have right now, is that long throw in. So I want to see if either team could really take advantage of that.
Not 100% sure how that ball ended up off FCB as the Nwegbo was shielding the players from it, but linesman didn't see it that way, and so we'll probably see another long throw in, is my guess.
I mean, part of the reason why I could never be a ref, if I saw Ollie Nwegbo looking at me, I don't think I'd call anything on him either.
He is a daunting figure. At halftime, I crossed by him. Oh.
As Beno has the ball now, a long-range effort. Troubles Junior Nunez a little bit. I don't think he expected that much pace on the ball, but he looks to play it short and chips it over now to Alan Garcia. Very well worked. But just again, these passes are just a little bit short. They just don't seem to be comfortable with putting a good amount of pace onto the ball.
Yeah, everything's just sloppy right now. The intent is the correct. That pass was the right one outside to Eugene, but Alan just again has fallen in love with these bleachers. Manny Mendez giving some chase on the far side of the pitch.
Now the number 49, who that is. If I can find it again, Del Rio, he has been a problem all night, and he is about to stand over another corner kick. Now, for both these teams, or for Birmingham specifically, it is live by the corner, die by the corner. As this one goes to the top of the box, step in, off the post.
Yeah, I think it hit the football crossbar there.
Wow.
It's hard to tell.
Hard to tell.
Nobody reacted, though. That's how you can usually tell on the field. They can see it so much better than we can up here.
I mean, I thought it went high, and then when I saw it hit the post, it didn't really make sense, but...
No.
But this has been an FC Birmingham team who kind of lives by the set piece, die by set piece. But right now they're kind of dying in open play as these passes just cannot seem to find each other.
No, it's every pass is short. Every pass doesn't have enough pace on it. And whether it's the 2 outside backs who've been making sloppy passes so far this half, the 2 outside midfielders really haven't had the look like the pace on their passes, so it really just hasn't been clean. Although, I will say that I feel like we played a better soccer the second half so far.
And there was one of those long balls to a flick on that has worked out really well. Now as this ball gets out to wide to the number 16, Pereira Salazar, but doesn't quite find anyone. But like I mentioned, those long balls to flick ons are really causing Potros trouble. If I am Gabriel, as this ball is won very well, as there is a goal for FC Birmingham. Giancarlo Bustamante does it again, does a great job of creating pressure in the midfield, wins the ball back, and Giancarlo slots it away calmly.
Yeah, it was a nice win in midfield by Bailey Harris, slotted it over to Diago, who then slid that pass right to Giancarlo, and he's not going to miss from 10 yards out. So as good as Cameron has been all day in between the posts, he didn't really have much of a prayer on that one. So we've pulled our way a little bit back into this game. It's now FCB 1, Potros 2, and 2 new subs coming onto the pitch. We've got number 48, Justice Brasher, coming in for Eugene. And we've got, I believe, we've got Lupe Villanueva coming in for Piero Salazar. So getting a couple of new fresh bodies. Eugene was hurt. After he took that knock in the middle of the pitch, you could tell he wasn't there wasn't any chance he was going to be able to keep this game. I don't know how that Nwegbo got away with that lean in from the back there. Allen is about 5 feet tall and got thrown at least 5 feet down the field. So, again, I think it might be that principle you're talking about. Who's going to call the foul on Nwegbo? He just looks at you and says nope.
I mean, I would listen.
Birmingham. And game number 10, Jose Villanueva, number 48, Justice Brasher.
Good win. Oh, solid tackle at midfield. I don't know what the Potros player is upset about. That seems like that's been par for the course in the midfield. Hard tackles that have not resulted in anything but just common fouls. So I will give that ref the credit that he has been fairly consistent with his calls so far. I don't know that anybody can argue that that there's been a change of how these calls are being made.
As that free kick, we saw them try to go for a little flick to get it over to Bonneau. There was a nice little long ball attempt by Garcia, but not really quite the weight that he wanted to put on it. Didn't quite get over the first defender. But they're kind of doing the little flick on as well, and that's something they've been very good at. Del Rio does a very good job. Gets it over to Bonneau. Now over to the top of the box to the 52.
Oh, a good step by Bailey Harris to take it off of Nwegbo's foot. That was a dangerous position to be in. Oh, another run by the outside back.
As this one's
Manny
the top
Mendez.
box, he lines it up, just misses the post.
Ooh. Good enough pressure out of Manny Mendez following the runner. And it looked like Junior would have had it covered if it had hit the goal, but glad we don't have to find out.
That 52, Jarvis Matisse, he hasn't been fully involved into this match. Not saying that he's been bad by any stretch, but compared to the other guys that we've seen, seeing him get to the ball to the top of the box and later on dispossessed, you know that he's going to want to get involved once again because he hasn't been one of their superstars, but he's also making a lot of intelligent runs off the ball, and where he found that space at the top of the box is where he's been sitting all day long.
Yeah, I'm glad it fell to him, though, and not number 49, Del Rio, who I think has kind of been the architect of everything that Potros has been doing today. He seems to just have a really good control in the center of the field, and a sloppy turnover by the goalie. Whew, and just as I praised him, thank goodness I jinxed him. So Del Rio chipping it over the top of the goalie, which is very fortuitous for our FC Birmingham Falcons. Score remains 2-1, Potros in the 58th minute.
I think if you're Del Rio, I think your eyes lit up a little bit. Your eyes got a little bit bigger than the goal because he's been monumental in terms of playing these balls. But that time he saw he had the goal to shoot on. Maybe Junior was caught out a little bit, but I don't think he realized that he had about 10 yards of space on either side of him to take a dribble and a shot.
Well, yeah, Junior making that turnover, rolling the ball out almost directly to him. I think his eyes just got very big on, if I can chip him, I can put this in the net.
I don't think a lot of people understand how hard a chip from distance really is, and it's one of those moments where you see a guy out of the net, you're thinking, I need to chip him. But that was a situation I think he could have taken a couple touches and decide to pick his spot, really, as now you have Giancarlo.
He's
really
literally
battling,
just getting thrown to the ground.
as we have a little bit of pushing coming out now.
This is what happens when the ref does not take control of this game earlier.
We saw there just a little bit Justice Brasher, his first real contribution into the game, showing up to Giancarlo's side and putting a nice little shove in to say, hey, man, I mean business.
91, Bron Hernandez, picking up that yellow card for the attempted body slam. Oh, it looks like Giancarlo picking up a yellow card, too. I'm not really sure about this.
I'm assuming that it was for the shove back. Unfortunately, it is always the second person that gets caught in these situations. But Giancarlo is being pulled away now by Villanueva, telling him, hey, listen, you're our top goal scorer. Please stop talking to the ref.
Yeah, it's I can see why Giancarlo's upset. I mean, he literally got bear hugged and thrown to the ground. Again, though, but this is a little bit of the ref not throwing out a couple cards a little bit earlier has allowed for the game to get physical. And my guess is this is only the start of a myriad of cards we're about to see in the next 30-plus minutes.
But right now, we see Yoel Mendez standing over this ball, obviously going to be looking for Giancarlo, who has something to prove. This one doesn't quite get to where he wanted to, though. Long ball over the top.
Important win here for Cedric. Cedric's got to handle that. Makes a nice play. It's a good play by Cedric. He was stuck back with two Potros players bearing down on him. Nice run. If we can get a touch around. Oh, that has to be a red card coming out of the goal there. Has to be a red card. We'll see this. Oh, and it's only a yellow card. That's devastating. I cannot believe what I've just seen. We've had this exact call go against us 2 straight times, and it's been a straight red card both times.
You know, there is something to be said about protecting a goalkeeper, and that does happen an awful lot. But in that situation, it is just a dangerous tackle that I'm not sure how Cameron Verona walks away without being shown red.
Yeah, I don't either. It's it was a deliberate pull down of the attacking player. He's the last offender. No matter how you want to look at it, that's got red card written all over it. Goalie playing with his hands outside of the box. I mean, there's 50 different ways you can call this a red card, but evidently the linesman, the center ref is seeing this only as a yellow, and it's unfortunate because, like I said, 2 times this year we've had our own goalie for the exact same play receive a red card, and we've had to play a man down for significant minutes. So you'd like to see a little bit more consistency from UPSL referees, but
Dark yellow card issued to the goalkeeper from.
it's unfortunate. That's what I'll leave it at that. I could complain more as a Homer ref, but Homer announcer, but it's. I feel like Gabriel Gregoire right now has to be feeling this is a complete injustice.
And he's still talking to the 4th official right now, maybe trying to get an official answer. As this was a shot on, while it did catch the goalkeeper out, he wasn't ready for it. I also think that's a bit of a wasteful opportunity.
Yeah, that's a long distance to try and hit a shot against Cameron. He's proven himself to be an exceptional goalie, and I don't think it's going to take one amazing shot to beat him from 40 yards.
And also to
It's going to be interesting to see how this game goes forward now, because we both said early on that the ref was letting a lot of physical play go, and I was okay with it. But there is also a point where later in the game where some of these no calls are going to be turned into fouls, and some of the fouls are going to be turned into yellow cards that weren't happening earlier. And it's going to be interesting to see how this FC Birmingham team can react.
He's got way offsides. You got to call that, ref. I don't know how that did not result in an offsides call right there. We had to make a play on the ball due to the fact that the guy was in an offsides position.
Nonetheless, Nwegbo still has the ball, plays it up as there's a ball out wide. Bit of a heavy touch, recovered well by the number 11, Manny Mendez.
Manny Mendez hustling a lot over there. I think he likes the shade of that side of the pitch.
There was a cloud earlier, and I was loving it too. So, as this is a nice little flick on, goes through the legs. The number 48, ball through the middle, not quite where he wanted. Can he get the shot?
Oh!
Looks like there might have been a touch to the back foot. Cannot quite get the shot off. But FC Birmingham still has the ball in a dangerous area, but nothing comes of it.
All right, going to be a corner kick for us. Wait, I think a corner kick.
Yes.
Yeah, we're steering into the sun a little bit. Where this ball is right now, it's a little bit hard to see the run of play.
I don't think my eye doctor is very happy about what I'm doing right now. So we have an out-swinging kick coming in to the middle of the goal. As this one's headed in a brilliant save by Cameron.
Wow, thought that was in the back of the net. Bustamante doesn't even leave his feet and beats his man. Generates enough power.
Impressive save to not only get to a palm to it, but push it out well over the goal. I mean, just wonderful fundamentals, wonderful footwork, and just a nice, strong palm to get this one over.
Yeah, honestly, a save that should never have been made, as he should be sitting over on the bench at this point or out of the stadium.
As his goal kick now goes long, finds to Beno, as there's a bit of a kick off of Garcia's face, and it is given.
I guess he said it went out of bounds before the kick hit Allen's face.
Scott Sterling. As this is a nice ball now over to Justice. Justice, take it down, but they say it's gotten ball. Now it's the middle of the pitch where the number 52, Jarvis Matisse, has all the space in the world, and he's playing on Beno as, I mean, Junior once again comes up huge in those one-on-one situations.
Yeah, that was a big play right there. The ref was letting the play go on. The passer was fouled, obviously, but looked like a lot of the FC Birmingham guys stood and watched, thinking the foul was going to be called. Meanwhile, the Potros team did not. They continued on with their run smartly. Oh, nice steal there by Manny Mendez.
There is something to be said, even if, we as the announcers or the players don't agree with the call, you do have to keep playing until the whistle is blown. And that's something you have seen out Portros, just a little bit an older team, something you get with that experience. As a cross goes in, handled well by Verona.
Yeah, a little too close to the keeper there.
As this long throw now gets over to Del Rio.
But nice to finally see one of our wingbacks getting up into the attacking.
And he tracks all the way back, but tries to score an own goal. Did not like his cross the first time. Thought he'd have another try at the other end.
I'll applaud his hustle back, but probably made Junior quake in his boots a little bit with that back pass.
But, I mean, you mentioned it. He gets forward. He makes something happen on the offensive end, sprints all the way back. A little bit of one of those moments of, I can't believe I got this ball. Let me give it to him. And the adrenaline goes, and he just has a go at net. But
yeah, it was his best shot of the day. But luckily, all is good. It's still 2-1 Potros with 68 minutes into this one. They're making another sub. Looks like 32 maybe coming off the pitch. I don't know. I thought I saw 32, but I don't see any 30s on their whole team. So,
and unfortunately, he's hiding right behind the big box. That would be the only thing blocking our sight line. We'll never know.
Well, he's not on the pitch.
As now Allen has the ball.
Again, the ball movement looking so much crisper now. Played into the corner. Oh, Diago going down, but they said that his touch was a little too wayward. I agree with that.
It looks like it is the number 52, Jarvis Matisse, that is off. We are waiting to find who has replaced him. It looks like it is the 58, which would be Pedro Valenzuela.
Entering the game, Potros number 58, Pedro Valenzuela.
Looks like a sub. Yoel Bacayo coming off the field. Looks like Harrison is going to be coming onto the pitch. Harrison Rodriguez has been our number 6 for most of the season. Only the last 2 games as Yoel supplanted him in that spot. So putting a guy in who's got a lot of playing experience and some fresh legs to boot. So hopefully this will continue to bolster the midfield play, which has been much, much better in this second half.
As there's a nice ball now over to Beno, who has the ball. Looks like he might have a go, but lines went up. Can he get across the top? But no one is there. He might be getting a little upset with his teammates on that one, as clearly the number 48, Justice Brasher, was impeded on, and he is feeling that at the top of his boot.
Yeah, Beno is a crafty player up there, number 10. He's saw him at halftime. He coaching up a couple of the guys who still had their warm-up bibs on, so he's definitely a leader on the team, and you can see it with his play on the field. He's very intelligent with the ball and fast.
It helps when you're both.
Oh, nice steal by Justice Brasher.
Takes a shot. Looks like it might have hit Brasher's hand.
Oh.
Gotten away with it.
One down the corner by Diago. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that ball popped up and hit Justice. I guess maybe they're saying proximity. He didn't have enough time to get it out of the way, but definitely seen that one called before.
Alan Garcia goes and heads that one on.
Yeah, Manny Mendez went in the header, but it was going away from goal. There was no way to get any real power onto that. But I do like what I'm seeing out of the FCB Falcons right now. It's a little bit of fight. We've got about 19, 20 minutes left in this matchup.
I mean, you hate to pull the weather card because both teams are dealing with it. But as the sun has gone down a little bit, the temperature has dropped, this team has gotten up.
Definitely offsides there. Big number 63. Once he gets moving, he can't stop very easily. So if the ball reverses like that, he's going to get trapped offsides more times than not.
Yeah, that's one of those situations where if you're my 12th grade physics teacher, she is screaming at me about physics and how like momentum and how that works. Yeah, you can't stop the big man once he's going.
Nice ball into Giancarlo in the box. Oh, he passes it right to the 18, but cleared out by Potros. Again, though, better looking football. This seems to be a trend, unfortunately, is that we like to dig ourselves a hole that we have to try and play our way out of, and will we be able to do so today?
As there is a shot that comes in, and we kind of talked about it earlier, you do like to see a team make a goalkeeper work, but there is something to be said whenever you are the one that has the momentum. You're the one that has all the power going forward right now. Wasting an opportunity from a wayward shot maybe is not what you want to do, and I'm sure Coach Gabriel has some kind thoughts about that one.
Again, just need to be safe with the ball right now, work it around. Seems like we're a little bit quicker to the ball than we were in the first half. Hopefully that trend will continue.
As it looks like
he's far
not
offsides.
off. Okay, a little bit of a late flag, but
yeah, it was a good run. Unfortunately, he started it at about 5 seconds too early. He's got to be getting tired. Number 10 has run and run and run this game, so I would like to see them sub him off the field. Coach, if you're listening to me, I'd like for you to take number 10 off, please.
Two guys just kind of battling that one out, but one well by Potros as they are going up the pitch
Oh,
now.
nice step in there.
We're seeing a little bit from Potros now, a little bit of what we saw from FC Birmingham in the first half, where a lot of their opportunities they're trying to create from a lot of dribbling. Those intricate passes are just not quite there.
Oh, they're saying he's on. They're saying he's on.
FC Birmingham stopped the run, but they were able to finally recover as Nwegbo puts a charge into that one, but that was never going to really challenge Junior Nunez.
No, and that what we just saw on the pitch right there is one of my greatest pet peeves as a fan and as a former coach and a former player, which is players stopping on the play, thinking that they're going to get a call. It bothers me to no end. Hustle to the whistle. I heard you say it earlier.
Now we're seeing Nwegbo come off. Maybe he knew that was his final opportunity, and as he is now off the pitch in favor for the central midfielder, number 57, Spencer Van Buskirk.
Yeah, it's number 10 is living offsides at this point. We need to put him a chair over there. Maybe I don't want him subbed off if he's going to do that. Manny Mendez making the run down the sidelines. Good play by the defender, number 21.
Yeah, seeing the big guy, Ollie Nwegbo, off in favor of Spencer Van Buskirk. He is
Throw into the box, headed on. Oh, headed back to the keeper. Smart play there by the defender. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to assume that Braun and Alan Hernandez might be brothers, the two center backs that are playing back there.
We have one thing that we're seeing for sure now is as they brought on Van Buskirk, he is a central midfielder, so they are just going one up top, and we've seen them kind of go to this 4-1-4-1, and it's pretty clear that the game plan is slide it through now to Beno. And if you're FC Birmingham, I think you're a little bit frustrated because they were leaving so much of the central of the park wide open for you. But now those wing backs that we saw dominate and bombing up the wings, they're sitting in deep. The central midfield sitting in deep.
Oh.
And you're probably going to get more opportunities, but maybe not in front of the part of the goal that you want.
Oh, Allen with a dangerous ball right there. Won by Lupe, then turned over. That is not a good place to have a turnover when we've got so many bodies forward.
As now Mark Beno plays it now
everybody's hustling back.
To Del Rio.
We're going to need Cedric Dorina to get on this ball. Oh, nice job there, Cedric.
As Beno gets it now. Looking to the top of the box to...
It's a great play by Cedric there. He was really outnumbered and just used his long legs to just do anything he could.
Danger's not quite away yet as this ball falls now to Del Rio. And Junior looks for the offside. Does not come. Goes 5-hole.
Yeah, another one of these plays where defenders just stop thinking that there's going to be an offsides call. No offsides call coming. And clinical burying of the shot right through our keeper's legs. Now a 3-1 lead for Potros.
Yeah, we saw earlier, we talked about it. Del Rio has been the MVP of this game. Beno has been fast. He's been creative. We saw Nwegbo create a lot of chances. But Del Rio, he has been the superstar of this game. And you can tell the kind of maturity he has. He doesn't just smash it at goal. He slots it cleanly through the 5-hole of Junior Nunez, who, for, I believe, the 6th time of the night, had to go one-on-one with an attacker. Now, after all of that, and like we talked about, they have worked their way back into this game. it feels like a little bit of air has been let out of this team. What can they do to get a little bit of that fight back into them and try to just get just one back?
Yeah, well, you can't score 2 goals, right? You have to score 1. So it's just going to take possessing the ball, moving it upfield, and hopefully we'll get a break of luck. And again, that whole goal was against the run of play. Everything was looking like it was pointing towards more of an equalizer than a third goal, but that's not what happened.
No, and you see this a lot whenever you're trying to possess the ball and they pack in another midfielder. It's just so much harder to run through, just like they were before. And now with them having the extra midfielder on, like I said, they're going to get more opportunities. But how good will those opportunities be? As Giancarlo looks like he tries to either take a shot or maybe get a cheeky little cross into Justice, but ball gets clipped before he can get it off.
Yeah, I think that's frustration right there. He's looking up and he's got 7 guys between him and the net, and he fires it.
As there's a really nice ball won there for FC Birmingham. Ball, throw in, go in.
Sun is in exactly the spot I don't want the sun to be in, which is just staring us right in the face.
We got to throw in, though. And, I will say, despite this not going fully the way that FC Birmingham
one-on-one.
Giancarlo he just misses the net, but he was also definitely offside as the rest of the back line for Portros was standing around the 5, and he was well in the end zone. But it's been nice to see the FC Birmingham faithful here. It's really easy to say it's hot out here, and the scoreline's not what we want it to be, but they have stuck through for the entirety of this match, and despite it not going the way we want, it has been a really fun match to watch.
Yeah, the first 5 minutes of the game really set the tone for everything, as FCB has just been playing out of that hole.
And if you're just now joining us, 3-1 the scoreline, the first 2 goals for Portros came in the first 10 minutes, where Birmingham just did not seem quite awake yet. Throughout the first half, they slowly started building into the match, and finally they get a goal back. But against the run of play, Potros gets one-on-one with Junior Nunez, and that's how you get to the scoreline we have now at 3-1.
Yeah, a little bit of the lazy passes starting to come back into the matchup. Only about 8 minutes left in regulation time, plus some stoppage. There's been some subs. There's been a couple goals. Looks like Cadman Irvin is going to come in for Allen. Allen missed his mark on the last goal, or the ball at least came to his side. Maybe they're trying to get some fresh legs in with Cadman Irvin. He's one of the youngest players in the UPSL. He's a 16-year-old student over at Briarwood.
Yeah, when you're looking at being a young player in UPSL or any of these semi-professional leagues, when you're looking at your USL League 2s, when you're looking at your NPSLs, when you're looking at your UPSLs, while it isn't the high-level professional level, there's still a lot of talent at these levels. You're still going against grown men, which you're not going to get in your typical academy games. You're not going to get in your typical high school games. There are grown men on the pitch who have made a career and are still just trying to do anything they can to keep playing. And this is just a wonderful opportunity for them to learn. As Justice Brasher has been caught on the top of the boot again. I think that is the 3rd time that he's been caught.
Yeah, number 61, the captain, Dylan McLoon, a little hot-tempered right now, I would say. He's definitely been fouling quite a bit, has not picked up a card, nor has even been talked to. But Ball played in. Oh, punched out. Oh, my gosh. I know that's one Manny Mendez will want back 100 times.
I mean,
Wide open from about the 12 yards out with the goalie on his back.
I mean, if you're Manny Mendez, you want it back, but and you have to give so much praise there to Cameron Verona, who makes a kick save in just the most unconventional fashion. I think he's sitting there thinking that is one of the best highlights he's had in a while.
Yeah, and I'm gonna harp on this dead horse again. Shouldn't even be in the match any longer. Should have been red carded for a foul that he committed out about the 25-yard line earlier.
As Giancarlo has an attempt on his bike, just places it over the bar.
Luke Sear onto the pitch. Looks like he's coming in for Diago Oliveira.
Goal kick played. Now you can tell that we have gotten to the point in the match where it is all about game management. Early on, they were playing these short goal kick routines. Now Cameron Verona is just going along with it because unless they have a moment of specialness, no one's scoring from the halfway line.
That's correct.
As that's a nice little flick on. Dealt with well. A little pressure put on by FCB, and it wins them a throw-in in the final third. Now to the top of the 12 or 20.
Yeah, far side of the pitch now nice and shady. In fact, most of the pitch is now in the shade.
There's a long, long ball. Tries to get over to the 27, Caveman Irvin. Doesn't quite get there. Earns a throw-in for Portros.
Yeah, I don't think Logan realized how much time he had back there. He probably could have brought that ball down and just made a nice, simple back pass to Junior. But pressure was on his back from number 10. We all know how quick he is. So,
if you're the Broncos, with Los Potros, you are just counting down the minutes at this point. A lot of game management needed by you because, as you mentioned, this FC Birmingham team is a bit of a second-half team. So they need to really take advantage of the time that they can waste and ensure that they can get all 3 points. Barring how these results go today, this result would likely put Potros to the top of the table with a 2-goal cushion plus 3 points.
yeah, I'm not sure who Dalton plays this weekend. Right now they have a three-goal lead in the differential, so this would tighten the gap up.
As we appear to have a player down, it looks like Beno is down on the field. And I know I was talking a little bit of the dark arts, but as much as he has been running around and as hot as it's been today, cramping is not out of the picture whatsoever.
Yeah. No, and I think Potros is just going to sub him right off the pitch.
Yeah.
There's some gamesmanship in this, and there is some pure exhaustion in this altogether. But if FC Birmingham wants anything to happen, they've got to make it happen quick. I can't imagine there's going to be more than 3 or 4 minutes of extra time in this matchup, so we might have 6 or 7, 8 possible minutes left.
As Beno comes off for number 50, Chris Johnson.
And that play right there kind of summed up the day for FC Birmingham. 2 FC Birmingham's guys just kind of watching each other watch the ball hit the pitch.
As Del Rio is getting a yellow. Is that his second? It is not. I thought he may have gotten one earlier in the altercation that happened, but that is just his first. Yeah, a bit of a high boot there.
Yeah, most definitely seems soft for a yellow, but with all the other things that have gone on.
You can really tell FC Birmingham is pushing here, trying to get anything back, just getting the ball forward as kind of blindly as they can. So I talked about earlier, those moments as you really see the young the young energy out of Irvin there. He was a little bit on golden retriever duty, see ball, get ball, and he went and got it and forced an error out of the defense.
Yeah, that's a 60-yard run there.
What I would do to be 16 again.
Oh, tough call on the far side of the pitch there. Results in a throw in for Potros. Really need to keep the pressure up as looks like they're going to have another sub come onto the field.
Waiting to find out is going to be the number 62, Manuel Montague, who is off.
You know, a couple of mistakes for FC Birmingham really cost them early, but Potros has really played a pretty solid game. The way they've moved the ball, been very safe with it, and then they've relied on one of their best players, the goalie, to play a big game.
Now on the number 7, Sebastian Ramirez.
Not 100% sure what this foul call is, but there's something called.
As it looks like a sub is going on. They appears that they were not supposed to restart play, as Del Rio getting his goal and I believe an assist leaves the game. I mean, absolutely MVP of the match for Portros.
No doubt about it. Not my MVP, but definitely the MVP of the game.
Who would be your MVP thus far?
He's absolutely the best player on the pitch, but I'm not very happy with Mr. Del Rio right now.
I mean, that's fair.
But no, I think it'd be really hard. You'd be really hard pressed to pick an MVP off the FC Birmingham team. Definitely maybe Junior for keeping us in the game as long as he did.
I was going to say, I mean, he was put in about 6 one-on-one opportunities in this game, and he did a great job of really saving 3 of them. There was so many of those chances that should have gone to the back of the net, but he was aggressive, he was decisive, and he forced them to make a decision and really kept Birmingham in this. I think without Junior, this is easily a 5-6 goal game.
Yeah, you're starting to see some frustrations bubble up from the FC Birmingham side. Doesn't seem like any call is the right call for them at this point. Some nifty dribbling there out of number 61.
Yeah, Dylan McCoon, he's been an absolute, just incredible player today. And we haven't really said his name a whole lot, which weirdly enough is kind of what you want out of your captain. Let him do all the dirty work. Don't let him he doesn't need to do all the extravagant stuff. Let him do the boring things, and good results will come. As it looks like the 59 might have accidentally been stepped on as he was fouled and ran by.
Yeah, I didn't see much in that. It looked like your typical gamesmanship towards the end of the match. The clock is definitely not FC Birmingham's friend right now, and it looks like more than likely this game's probably going to end the way it is right now.
Yeah, Barantes came on just a second ago for Del Rio. Kind of his first contribution into the match was that. But, I mean, all credit to Potros. We can say whatever we want about any reffing decision. We could say whatever we want about indecisiveness from players. But, FC Birmingham made some mistakes. They came out sleepwalking a little bit, and they made them pay. And that is the sign of a really good team. It's making people pay for their mistakes as FC Birmingham looks to capitalize on one themselves, goes for a bit of a cross at the top of the box, cannot quite get his feet right as the full whistle blows, and it ends in a 3-1 defeat for FC Birmingham.
Yes, another unfortunate home defeat. Still not picking up any points on their home field here at Lawson Stadium. Second half looked a lot better than the first half, but not good enough to make up any difference. Let me remind everybody really quickly of some club activity coming up over the next couple of weeks. So next week, same time on Saturday, 5 o'clock, we kick against FC Atlanta in a must-win game if we're going to make a run for the playoffs. And then the weekend after that, we've got the women's home opener. We've got the competitive academy tryouts on May the 13th through the 16th, as well as the academy tryouts on May the 20th through the 21st. So the competitive tryouts are for U13s and up, and then the academy tryouts are for U9 to U12. So go to fcbirmingham.com. Get yourself registered for tryouts for the fall season, and we look very forward to seeing you there. I thank you so much, Kayla, for joining me today on the broadcast. I hate to welcome you into the FCB family with a loss, but we're glad to have you here, and look forward to hopefully having you back in the future.
Yeah, it was an absolute blast. Obviously, you want the results to go into our favor, but in the end, it was a fun match. It was an entertaining one, and hey, I would love to be back.
Great. Well, everybody, thanks for joining us here. We're going to end our broadcast with a 3-1 loss for the FC Birmingham Falcons against Potros, and look forward to joining you again next weekend at 5 p.m. on Saturday. Have a great weekend.